Hi, I'm David Cameron, Deputy Director of Academic Technologies at the University of Newcastle. This short presentation is about digital game-based assessment, and that of course is a very broad topic which could cover, for example, off-the-shelf games and their use as a learning or assessment activity. An example might be around the use of games like Civilization or perhaps Minecraft. We could also consider purpose-built digital games or game-like simulations, possibly using virtual worlds. These types of objects have been used for learning and assessment in the military, emergency services and health for some time, for example. Game design can be a learning and assessment task in itself in a range of disciplines, because games are a form of presentation, expression and narrative familiar to many of today's learners. Designing a game incorporates collaboration, creativity, problem solving, possibly even some coding skills. Although using MIT's Scratch application, for example, allows us to design games and interactive stories without really needing any knowledge of how to code. We could also consider game conventions in non-game settings, and that might include some forms of role play or simulation. Even some forms of educational drama are very close to being games. It might include exploration or adventure activities like online quests, all the way through to so-called gamification, which is the use of some game mechanics in non-game settings, and open badge programs that are aimed at promoting engagement. Picking one of those as an example, here's a game-based learning and assessment object created here at the University of Newcastle. It's probably the form that many people think of when they hear the term game-based learning. This is a 3D virtual space created using the game engine Unity. And this is a virtual house modelled from the plans for a real house that were provided to us from a local housing authority. And this model of a house is used in our occupational therapy programs, and the way that it's incorporated into an e-assessment activity is, for example, students are perhaps given the task of evaluating this house in terms of accessibility for people with a disability. So, for example, it has built into it these little tape measure objects. If I click on that, it gives me some information about the height of the stairs. If I go up the stairs towards the front door, there's another tape measure. I click on that, it gives me some information about the clearance of the front door. We'll just pop inside, take a look around. And so this 3D space, this 3D house, can be used as part of a learning or evaluation activity with students in the occupational therapy program. We'll just go for a little walk a bit further on into the house. There we go, there's the lounge room. And this is one of a number of 3D virtual spaces that have been created for use by the occupational therapy students in this way. There's another space that is a school playground, for example. And we've also produced similar spaces such as a hospital ward area, which is used by students in another program for their learning and assessment as well. That's one example of a game-based e-assessment, and I'll conclude with 3 observations. Firstly, that play is a learning skill. We need to better understand the playful learning and social interactions that now infuse the connected lives of many of our students. Play implies a safe space to experiment, to try out new identities and roles, for example. Play can also address challenging real-world problems. Playful learning can be hard work, and hard work can be fun. It can be motivating, it can be enjoyable. Games are not just about having fun or sugarcoating boring or difficult tasks and content. They can be about engaging students in quite complex or difficult tasks, getting them to grind away at a set of activities and outcomes. But at the same time, that hard work can be meaningful and it can be enjoyable as well. And games are a way of turning playful learning into an e-assessment activity. Games can add rules or conditions to otherwise open-ended play. As we refine our approaches to technology-enhanced learning and teaching, digital games are worthy of further investigation as a form of e-assessment. And so over to you now for your comments and questions, and I look forward to continuing the discussion.